Hello, investors and traders, and welcome to the weekly market report. I'm AJ Monte, and this is a one-year daily candle chart of the Dow Jones Industrial Average ETF, ticker symbol DIA. I've left my lines on the chart from last week so you can see how the forecast worked out. And as you can see, my forecast was to go lower. We absolutely did not do that, and I'm sure right about now the YouTube haters are probably celebrating. But let me just say this. My forecasts here on the technical charts are just that. They're technical forecasts. And even though I said last week we would go down to test this support, I am still holding on to that. And I'm going to project out and get a little bit further out in time and even a little bit lower on that forecast. And here's why. If you take a look what's happening in the world right now, you might be scratching your head saying, how in the world is the market going up when we're losing jobs and when they're cutting the pipeline jobs especially? How is it possible that Congress is passing trillions of dollars now in aid that's going outside of our country and not really stimulating the U.S. economy? Those are thoughts that cross the minds of many people. And so my perspective here is going to be a little bit more long-term. And then towards the end of this presentation, I'm going to show you the actual numbers and what we've been doing over the past year. And in fact, while there's times that we're wrong on the forecast, we have not had to take a single loss on any one of our trades for over a year now. And I'm going to show you that. Well, there are times when positions have moved against us. We are quickly adjusting those trades to turn them from red back to black and continue to work them. If you're not an option trader, I'm just going to say this. It will be worth your time to at least learn how to trade options, particularly option spreads. We do a lot of diagonal calendar spreads, and even when the markets move against us, we're still making money, and I'm going to show you that, especially with the Qs. But here is the forecast right here. A couple of other things that are happening. Notice how this week we hit the high that matches the high from back here on January 21st. Notice down here, we continue to see these divergences. What does that mean? Well, here's the CCI, and notice right here we have a much lower high on the matching high right here. The CCI shows this change in momentum, and it's a lot more sensitive to the stochastics, and even with the stochastics, we're seeing a divergence right there. In addition to that, as I zoom in, you'll see that on the way up, what's happening to volume? Volume is steadily dropping on average, and that is a sign of weakness. We also have gaps below the market. You see that? There's a gap. We have a slight gap up today. Gaps fill 80% of the time, and after they fill, there's an 80% chance that prices will reverse. Well, guess what happened today? Right here is a gap that filled. Now that that gap filled, now there's a greater chance that we'll start pulling back. So again, keep an eye on this. And if you are learning how to manage risk, then stick with that risk management plan, because especially when you have a long position, you're making money, you at least want to protect those profits. And week after week, I've been telling people, trail your stops up, protect those profits, limit that downside risk, and then move on. Now, let's talk about the Qs, QQQ. This is a position that we've had in our member page for the Option Oracle traders, where we got into a put spread. Now, I'm not going to get too far into the options, but right here, it was at the end of December, we got into a put spread, and we bought the 315 puts, we sold the 300 puts, and even though the market has gone up quite significantly, we are still making money on that put spread. It's the same thing that we did in GameStop. We took a short position through the puts in GameStop, and we're making money. It sounds crazy, right? But that's a thing called Vega. You should learn about that if you're an option trader. And even when the market goes against you, like it did with GameStop, we're still making money. Now, I can't say the same for the short sellers that took that position, but we're making money on our calendar spread. So what does this mean for the tech sector? Well, again, look at this. I'm going to erase all these lines. I'm going to keep this in mind here. I do believe we're going to pull that far back, but I'm going to erase all these lines and show you what's going on here. Again, risk management, and if you're an option trader, start to think about some bearish strategies. Here, we have a higher high on the price. See that? Look at this. A much lower high on the CCI. Another lower high on the stochastics. Look at the volume on the way up. Lower volume on the way up. Everything about that is pointing to the downside. Again, I'm reading the charts. It's not my personal opinion. I'm just reading the charts. As I zoom in, what do we have there? Yep, that's a gap. Right here, what happened? We filled the gap. So any day now, we're expecting to pull back on that gap fill point and on the new gap fill down here. I'm going to even go a little bit further and say we're going to pull right back to that moving average, being conservative that way. And I think that once that moving average is broken, I think we're going to go right down. So I'm just make like a little dotted line here for you right there and project that out to the low right around 312 for the Qs. Now, let's take a look at the VIX. For those of you who are short-term traders, this is a great trading instrument. Why? Because it's an oscillating index. I did say the VIX would pull back after it's gone up, pull back a lot more than what it did here after hitting this high back here. But look what we're seeing right here on the VIX. If you're a trader, again, this is one that you can trade. If you're an option trader, you could take some short-term trades and manage the risk on that. But count this. We have 7, count them right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red candles in a row. That's known as a stale red light. There is a gap above the market. There is a support level down here on the VIX. We're expecting the VIX to bounce off of that and go higher, at least to fill that gap. And that's where my short-term target for the VIX is going to be right there. Notice the oscillators are oversold right here, expecting those to turn up. So my forecast for the VIX is going to be 29.66 for a short-term price target right around the middle of the month, right around February 17th. And with that, I'm going to hop right to the spiders. Now remember, last week's forecast did not hit any of the targets, but keep an eye on this because this game is not over yet. Look, same scenario. Price has gone up, volume going down. Oscillators got that major divergence right there. You got these stochastics starting to hinge right there as I magnify that. You have a wide divergence from the moving average. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to actually broadcast that right down to that support level, getting rid of this. That's a former price target that we had right there. I'm going to get rid of it and renew it with this most extreme pullback right there. That's a spiders. So keep an eye on that. If you're long any of these stocks and you put a stop loss below any of the positions you hold in the S&P, and if it goes higher, guess what? You haven't lost a single thing. But for the option traders, you could make money. Again, hold on one more time as I go to the IWM. Then I'm going to show you our trade sheet. All right, so we call it the trade blotter. Here, IWM pulled back a little bit, but didn't go all the way. So I'm going to erase these lines and redraw it. It's pretty much the same story right across the board. We're expecting a pullback. You got the divergence again from this high to a higher high. We're not getting higher highs throughout this whole level right here. We actually have a lower high. The volume is holding steady on this one, but take a look a little bit closer. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles in a row. That's known as a stale green light. We're long overdue for a red candle. And right there, that's known as a hanging man. That's a very bearish candle with a gap all the way down here, right around the 197 area for the Russell 2000. Okay, so my forecast is going to be lower. I'm going to put the first stage of support right here. So that target is going to be right around 205.92. And then we'll have to see how the volume picks up. Now let's take a look at the scorecard. This is an actual record of the trades that we put out to our members. It's going back as far as 2020, even going back to July. And you can see each one of these have been closed, but I want to show you the actual percentages that we're gaining in the time frame that we're getting those returns. Right here, Bank of America, over 17% in 4.5 months. These aren't income claims. These are just actual records, just so you know. You may have heard the old saying that past performance is not a guarantee of future returns, but that's exactly what we're seeing right here. I'm just showing you the actual record. Microsoft over 66% in 9 months. These are actual trades. Mylan 51% in 6 months. Delta Airlines 65% in 7 months. This was a short trade we took on a pullback on SCHW. We made almost 6% in 40 days. Now I'm going to show you this one. Again, I very rarely show this, but I want to show you the evidence of what we're doing in case you don't believe what you're seeing on the charts. Again, these are trades that we placed even during the times when markets moved against us, but we're still able to take a profit. Now, Shopify, the reason I have that in yellow right there is because we are in the red on that one, but I expect over the next rollout, we're going to snap that one right back into the black, but I put it in yellow to keep an eye on that. Anything with a blue bar here are positions we're still working. OIH, still working. Look at this one, AMD, we took almost a 22% return, 3.5 months. Look at SunPower, 18% in 50 days. GoPro, look at that, 77% in 43 days. Again, our members are trading this with us. Here's one, again, in yellow, TLT. We're expecting that one to go up. And we're going to roll, get that one back in the black, right? Right here, Lulu, unbelievable trade. We did a rollout in this one. Again, for those who are not trading options, keep your eye on the lessons that we give in option trading. If you want to learn more about that, go to the links below this video. Absolutely do that. And if you're having a great time, folks, if you're one of our members and you're getting these kinds of returns, and many of the members are getting better than this, then please hit the like button, share it. That helps with the algorithm and getting the word out to many people who are looking to do this. All right, UAL, that's United Airlines, 47% profit in 2.5 months. Nikola, we're still working that. This is a phenomenal trade that's probably going to wind up close to 100% return by the time we're done with that one. DKNG, another home run for us. BYND is almost at a break even here. We've had that for a while, but it's had amazing price swings both against us and for us. Again, another testament to how you can do a call spread and still make money even when it goes against you. AMD, another great one. GOLD, so-so. We're up on that one. It's not a home run. I might close that one out. CVNA, Carvana, we have call spreads and put spreads. GME, check this one out. This is the most recent one. Wildcat of a stock. Got caught in a short squeeze. We bought the 85 puts, sold the 45 puts. Look at this. The stock went $300 against us, and we're still making money. Right? This is a work in progress. We're probably going to close this out in a couple of months. But folks, if you are interested in any of the services, particularly the trade alert services, then ping me at the bottom in one of those links. Shoot me a message in YouTube. My passion is to teach people how to do this. Forget the haters down there. They're always going to have something to say, really. And for those of you that have negative comments, please understand that it does nothing but hurt the people who are trying to learn. It really does. And if you have any doubts, I challenge any of you out there who are contesting the accuracy, look me up. Let's have an intelligent conversation. Seriously, I want to show everyone how to make money so that when you are making money, understand, and I wrote this in the last chapter of my book, wealth serves a purpose. If you can go out there and make a lot of money and then take care of your family, take care of your own needs, and then take that money and go out there and change the world, then imagine what we can do as a group of people, a group of investors who are making money and taking our profits to do good things with it. That's our mission, and I hope you join me. So have a great rest of the weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. So long.